again, YouTube. So today I am trying to fix this troll motor. It's a Minn Kota Classic 28 pounds of thrust. It's got a few issues. I've had this one for a couple of years. It was with a John boat I used to have. I recently sold. This did go along with it, but the guy I sold it to told me it didn't work, even though I put new leads on it and everything. Well, when I say new leads, I just mean the ends here. Stripped it back and put new ends on it because the old ones were rusted and corroded. And yeah, it didn't work, so I'm gonna see if I can't figure out what went wrong. It doesn't appear to be locked up. One thing, that prop looks kind of rough. So I'm gonna see if I can't fix it up. I might throw some spray paint on this and then maybe try to sell it for about $100. I only used it a handful of times anyway. About the same amount of times I used the boat, which wasn't very much. Part of the reason I sold it, so let's see if I can figure out what's going on. Alright, I finally got the top unit off. One of the holes back here was plugged up with, I guess, a dirt dauber nest. Finally got it cleaned out with an old screw. I think the issue is in one of these wires. Here. And I guess we'll find out. It might be in these conductors. This thing's pretty dirty. Spiders and dirt daubers getting in here. It's a control unit, I guess. Of course. One thing I found out about these, trying to look them up online, Minn Kota definitely does not make these anymore. And they're hard to find parts for, apparently. Because of that. I did find a manual, but it was very basic. It's just a breakdown manual. I really hope the problem is in there and not in here. Otherwise, this thing's going in the scrap pile. Anyway, I'm gonna go get the battery I got in here. Just to test it with, just a car battery. I got one of those volt probes from Walmart. Let's see if I can't figure out where the issue is. See if it's even got current going through the wires. If that doesn't work, I'm going to replace the wires with a couple of these. See how well that'll work anyway. Not the most ideal solution, but you know, $12 for this, for repair these versus, you know, going a freaking, well, trying to hunt down a pair of lead cables on eBay or whatever for like $15, $20, if you can find them. And then waiting, because I want to turn this thing around, make a quick buck. I'm saving up for a boat, a different boat, not like my John boat. My John boat was a piece of junk. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, this is the battery I'm going to test with. It's a car battery I actually picked up from the Recycler's Depot. Scrapyard / picking yard we have over here. And I got this for like $30 a while ago. It's a refurb battery, and it's actually the battery I had hooked up to this motor in the John boat for a while. By the way, if you plan on using a troll motor for long term, I highly recommend not doing that. Not with a car battery. You have to use a deep cycle battery, I found out. My dumb butt did not know the difference between deep cycle and car batteries was that deep cycle batteries are meant for long-term use and recharging, whereas car batteries are meant just for starting the motor and being slowly recharged by like an alternator. They don't last near as long, and they can also do damage to a troll motor and other electronics if you're constantly running them. So that's apparently why most big boats, when they have an outboard motor, have 2 batteries. The more you know. Anyway, I got some battery cleaner on this. This thing was kind of grody and I couldn't get any signal in with the little tester here. So, see if I can get cleaned up. If not, I may have to test it with a battery off of something else, probably my 4-wheeler. Alright, so the other battery was bust. Thankfully I had this other one that was also sitting beside it. And this one has a much better charge. It's going to be kind of hard to hold my phone like this. So basically, on this probe, the needle touches, it turns red if the needle's touching the positive, as a positive, going through it, and it turns green, it's on negative, and the greens are very faint, but the red's nice and bright. you can see that. It's, no, it's blurry. Oh, dang it. There we go. See, it's light green, bright red. So, that's the battery I'm probably going to use today, and the other one is going to the recycling pile, where this motor will go if I can't fix it. Well, I took this control unit out, tested it with my probe on all the prongs. All but one wire actually gets a signal. It's this black wire right here that goes in the top corner. I do not know what that is. I might look at the specs for that. But yeah, it's got continuity on both these wires that come into it, the leads, and the rest of the wires. I'm no expert on troll motors by any means, but considering it's not kicking on at all, one of two things happen here. One, it's not getting enough charge, or two, one of these wires, I'm speaking the black one that goes down to the motor, is broken or shorted out. I'm gonna attempt to take this out, take this apart, but let's see what happens. Alright, so I think I found sufficient reason to keep this thing inside when I'm not using it. I got the prop off and the little cover behind it off, and when I tilted it over, all this fell out. I'm sure that's a mixture of corrosion and sand. If you look at the inside here, it's pretty nasty. I'm gonna have to clean that out. This is gonna be fun. See if I can even get that out. Well, I think I found the problem. After I got all that mess off, that came off, and I get to look at the motor. The magnet parts that go all the way around the electric motor. Sorry, I'm no expert on these things. Yeah, it's in like 4 pieces. I hope that's not for me tapping it with the hammer, with this big old ball peen hammer to get it loose, but yeah. I mean, look at the inside of that. That is gross. That's from, I guess, all that sand and I guess moisture corroding. And these magnets are like locked around this motor. I just got a piece off with my pliers and it doesn't want to come off now. Yeah, it's a pretty strong little magnet, electromagnet. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, oh, hang on, let me turn my video down. Sorry, I turned my ear down. Yeah, this thing is just toast. I might cut the wires off, save them for something else. I can use them, might use them for backup battery charger. Or something, I don't know. The leads are good, so those weren't the problem. So I'm going to take these back to Walmart and get my 12 bucks back. This is going to go with that old battery, which I ironically bought to use with it. And this is going in my scrap pile. Maybe I can get a nice penny for it at the scrapyard whenever metal goes up. I might just cut the motor part out of it and sell it separately. Because electric motors go for a decent amount, especially if you can get them out of the casing. So, we'll see. But yeah, I think the rest of it's just going to probably go for basic scrap metal. The plastic's not worth crap. Word of advice. Anyone else who buys a used troll motor or just finds one, clean it up and keep it inside when you are not using it. Do not let it set out in the dirt in your grandma's pasture like I did. I'm a little agitated. I really wanted to get this thing working again and sell it for like about $100 bucks. So anyway, CB Tech Stuff signing off.